Hello viewers and welcome back to a new entry in our war series. This time we're looking at the best war films made in the 2010s. Pretty self-explanatory, so let's get going. Number 10, Fury.
Why are you here? You're here to kill him. You know why he's here? He's here to kill you. He's here to kill you.
This is a film that seems to appear in our comments quite often, so for our viewers who are big fans of it, here it finally is. Whilst Fury doesn't quite live up to the World War II classics of yonderyear, as a modern entry in the genre it is a heart-pounding experience. The film follows an American tank crew in Germany during the final days of World War II, particularly Logan Lerman's Norman. As the plot progresses on, we see more and more of Norman's compassion and humanity stripped away by both foe and ally. With incredible tank battles and both chemistry and hostility amongst our protagonists, Fury is well worth a watch. Number 9, Land of Mine.
Zwischen den schwarzen Fähnchen und dem Feldweg liegen 45.000 Minen. Ihr wird sie allen schaffen. Wenn ihr das erledigt habt, könnt ihr nach Hause gehen.
War movies that take place during battle are a dime a dozen, but rare is a film that depicts the anguish and retribution that lingers in the aftermath of the conflict and violence. Danish film Land of Mine is a harrowing and compelling look into a part of history that many are unaware of, particularly what the Danish people did to the German soldiers left behind after the surrender of Nazi Germany in 1945. It's a harrowing study of revenge and post-war retribution that ranks high among films about the cost of war and its continuing damage to humanity. Friendships form, relationships end, and everyone sees the futility of war in a new light.
Ich habe eine! Ich habe eine! Ich auch!
Number 8, Tangerines.
Знаешь что, грузин? Наверное, уже знаешь, тебе не надо бояться. Я обещал нашему спасителю, что в его доме я тебя убивать не стану. Короче, хочешь жить, не выходи из дома.
This Estonian film explores the moral grounds of humanity, particularly how wise it is to be a good Samaritan in the midst of a war, especially when it doesn't have anything to do with you. After the outbreak of war in Abkhazia, a breakaway region of Georgia, the ethnic Estonians in the area flee their homes in order to seek shelter elsewhere, with only 2 men staying behind. These 2 refuse to leave their homes and tend to their crops of tangerines, but the war catches up to them as the Chechen and Georgian soldiers engage in a firefight. With 2 wounded soldiers of different loyalties asking for their help, the 2 men are left to make a difficult choice.
Что с вами, молодые люди? Убью. Кто вам дал на это право?
Number 7, Beast of No Nation.
From the NRC junta. But it has awakened a sleeping beast. It has awakened the giant. It has put the weapons of this war back in the hands of you, the young.
This Netflix original film follows the story of a child soldier fighting in a terrifying civil war in Africa. He's ripped apart from his family and taken under the wing of a rebel militia leader played by Idris Elba, and forced to do some horrendous things before becoming a member of the gang. Beast of No Nation is one of the more shocking films on this list, as it features the conversion of an innocent young villager turned a violent killer against his will. It's a confronting film that showcases some horrific atrocities. Number 6, Zero Dark 30.
Is he supposed to limp like that?
Get your hand out of your pocket. Hey.
Allahu Akbar.
Hey!
Take your hand out of your pocket!
Hey! No!
Come on. Allahu Akbar.
Catherine Bigelow's Zero Dark 30 is not so much a classic war film like some of the above, but rather it's based on the war on terrorism, as it highlights the conclusion of the decade-long manhunt for notorious leader Osama bin Laden. The film is not afraid to confront some of the more controversial aspects of the search, including questionable practices by the CIA revolving around getting information from their prisoners. Zero Dark 30 is one of the more wordy, complex films on this list, but gives credit to the due process involved in finding bin Laden, as controversial as it may be. The final act, which sees a raid on the terrorist outpost, is worth the wait, however, as it truly is an extremely thrilling scene.
Ja.
Number 5, Hacksaw Ridge.
So how come you don't fight? You think you're better than us?
No.
But what if he was attacked?
Whoa!
Say it like that.
Mel Gibson mounted a major comeback with his fifth film, a viscerally powerful and emotionally satisfying action drama about the horrors of war. Gibson knows how to make things vivid and feel real, so much so that his most violent action scenes can be too intense for some viewers. Andrew Garfield is perfect casting as Desmond Doss, a pacifist trying to escape his domineering father to join his brother in the army to fight the Japanese in World War II. The film goes from the boot camp sequences where he is hazed and abused and put on trial for refusing to carry a weapon, to the horrific clifftop battlefield where he heroically rescues 75 men without ever lifting a gun.
Jump on it.
You're kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna drag you.
Let's do it!
Number 4, Son of Saul.
Was ist der Anlass Ihres Besuches, wenn ich fragen darf?
Putzen.
Putzen.
This film follows Saul, a Jewish-Hungarian prisoner of war working as a member of the Sonderkommando at one of the Auschwitz crematoriums. Inspired by the book Voices from Beneath the Ashes, featuring eyewitness accounts of those who buried their testimonies, director Laszlo Nemes was able to ground his narrative in the authentic, tangible, everyday functioning of what he calls a death factory. Nemes's tightly focused camera follows the Sonderkommando's blinkered close-up point of view as he does the Nazis' dirty work in the crematoria, and moves through the camp seeking to bury a young boy. An incredibly harrowing and important film. Number 3 on Sunday.
Au notaire Jean Lebel. Enterrez-moi sans cercueil, nu et sans prière. Le visage tourné vers le sol, face première contre le monde.
Denis Villeneuve's breakout hit is argued by many to be his best film, a movie that tackles the generational effects of war, exploring how time can drag the chaos out long after fighting is finished. Beginning in Canada, it follows a pair of twins as they are given 2 notes from their dying mother, one for their brother and another for their father, both of whom they thought were dead. The film then proceeds to unravel this mystery as it takes the twins through their mother's history, depicting the brutalities and the chaotic legacy of an anonymous Middle Eastern war, full to the brim with impressive acting and devastating emotional impact.
عم بدور على دار الأيتام. وينها؟ طب الولاد؟ شو صار بالولاد؟ وين راحوا؟
Number 2, Dunkirk. One of the greatest war films to come from the 2010s is Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. Set during World War II, the film sees Allied forces trapped and facing imminent doom from their German adversaries as they scramble to evacuate the town of Dunkirk. The story is cleverly told from 3 different perspectives: air, land and sea, and contains minimal dialogue, focusing more on the music and visuals to build the tension. The film is suspenseful all the way through and doesn't rely on common tropes to get the point across. It's a truly unique and visceral war film that keeps you guessing and have you on the edge of your seat throughout.
I'm not turning around.
Turn it around!
Before we reveal our number 1 film, here are some honourable mentions that just missed the list. Jojo Rabbit.
People used to say a lot of nasty things about me. Oh, this guy's a lunatic.
The Imitation Game.
And that's this big paper you wrote.
Timbuktu. 71. Lincoln. Lone Survivor.
Roger that! Shit!
American Sniper. Number 1, 1917.
Is that our friends again? Looks like it. Dogfight. Who's winning? Us, I think. 2 on 1.
An incredible feat of cinema, 1917 is an experience like no other. Following 2 British soldiers who have to dodge bullets and artillery as they strafe across no man's land in town ruins, this epic war drama boasted some of the finest technical achievements of the 2010s. Roger Deakins' camera work engulfs the film, it never lets up, particularly shining during a certain nighttime sequence with Thomas Newman's score providing a creeping dread. This is a perfect portrayal of the horror and madness of the war-torn hellscapes that was World War I. Thank you for watching. Have your own opinions? Leave them in the comments below and be sure to subscribe for new content every week.